So we're doing 3 plays next year. 3 plays, and the first one is called A Small Fire. It's by Adam Bock, and it's going to have a really special guest, which we're not allowed to actually name just now, but I'll give you some hints because I think a teaser will be super fun. This performer won a Tony Award. She also is known for her work on the television, and she has an affinity for candor and ebb. Okay. Tell me if you figured it out later, because we're not allowed to mention her. But it's really exciting. She's really excited to do this play. I'm going to read you a little bit about it. And this opens in October. A Small Fire follows John and Emily Bridges, a long-married couple whose happy middle-class lives are upended when Emily falls victim to a mysterious disease. As her senses are slowly stripped away, smell, taste, sight, Emily resolves to remain engaged with her community, relying on John to help her run her construction company and experience her daughter Jenny's wedding. But her stoic outlook reaches a breaking point when the disease steals her hearing, leaving with nothing but touch to communicate to the world. Suddenly, she's completely dependent on the husband whose endless devotions she had always taken for granted. Now, it sounds like a downer. The thing about next season is this word triumph kept racing through my head and ricocheting off, and I was looking for stories where people overcame things and accessed parts of them that they didn't know they had, and that's what this play is about. It is beautiful, and it ends with this stunning coup de théâtre that kind of all the plays do, in fact, next year. That's another string. So I'm really, really excited about it. It's a beautiful, beautiful play, and ever since I saw it, I've been wanting to do it. Okay, the second one does not star a person that danced on Broadway. The second one is a new play by Chelsea Marcantel, and it's called Everything is Wonderful. When an Amish couple's 2 sons are killed in a car crash. I know. I promise there'll be jazz hands in the future. When an Amish couple's 2 sons are killed in a car crash, the family struggles to maintain their faith and cling to their way of life. In an act of unfathomable forgiveness, however, they take in Eric, the wayward young driver of the car. But Eric's mistake cracks open the family's dark history and brings home their eldest daughter, Miri, who was excommunicated 5 years earlier and ran off to Philadelphia. Miri returns to find her family in shambles, the man who killed her brothers living in the barn and sharing meals with them, the man who drove her away, intent upon marrying her younger sister. Without a way forward, the insular community must seek to heal the deep wounds of the past, forcing everyone into a new kind of reckoning. And again, that one, if I had to put a tagline under the artwork, it would be, forgiveness, can you imagine? Because it really, really is a beautiful, beautiful story, again, about a family that is fractured but finds their way to peace. And I think we could all use that message today. That play was a Kilroys List Honorable Mention in 2015 and 2016, and I will talk about that in a second. The final show is probably maybe a little more known, and it might not be, but it's called The Wolves. It's by Sarah DeLappe, and it was a Pulitzer Prize finalist last year, and it won the Relentless Award for playwriting, and it was also on the Kilroys List, which again I'll talk about in a second. This is a super fun play about a high school girls indoor soccer team, just a few weeks until the Nationals. 9 young women, known simply by their jersey numbers, push and train for their games while also navigating the trials and tribulations of their lives. From boys and social studies and homework to the Khmer Rouge, abortion and anxiety disorders, The Wolves is about life, love, and loss on the AstroTurf. The show was a huge hit in New York. You couldn't get a ticket, so we're going to bring it here. And what we're really excited about is there is so much young talent in Philadelphia. UArts is right next door. We've got all this great young talent that we know we can showcase in this production. So we're super excited about The Wolves. That's going to be directed by Nell Bang-Janssen, who is also a local director, and we're really thrilled to have her here. And so, you heard me mention the Kilroys. Last season, PTC made the commitment to produce 1 play from the Kilroys List every year. So the Kilroys at PTC is a new initiative and represents our pledge to produce a play from the Kilroys List. Who makes the list? Writers eligible for the list identify as women, trans, or non-binary playwrights. Philadelphia playwright Emma Goidel, who in fact won the Barrymore Award last year for her play The Gap at Azuka Theater, is a new member of the cohort of Kilroys. It's 15 women all over the country, and Emma is a new one, so we're super proud of her. She was going to come tonight, but she's also super pregnant, and so she couldn't make the trip. But speaking of babies, this season's Kilroy play at PTC is called How to Catch Creation by Christina Anderson, and we're currently in tech for the show. If you want to peek in the theater, you can see that the set is in place right now. It starts previews on Friday, and it's a stunning representation of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a story about 4 artists and intellectuals in San Francisco coming to terms with their legacy and with their acts of creation, and it features 6 beautiful actors. It's a Black American cast. It highlights queer stories, and it is a beautiful representation of Christina's potential. Christina is exploding on the scene now, and this is her first big play. We saw it at the Goodman, where the Goodman Theater commissioned it. It had a run at the Goodman. This is its second play, so it's the East Coast premiere, and we're sharing a production with Baltimore Center Stage. And so once it finishes here, it will head down there. And what PTC should be doing is just that, giving places for writers to get their work in front of audiences so they can develop their talent. We did it for Terrence McNally. It's time to do it for the next generation. So that's what the Kilroy Pledge is all about, and that's what we're